final of the women's quads, with Great Britain seeking a hat-trick. Winners 2 years ago in Gifu and promoted last season to gold after the disqualification of the Russian quad.
Oh, and that's a great first stroke from the Germans with the experience of Catherine Boren in the bow. So we can see a picture there, but I think this race is going to set to be a duel between the British quad winners in Lucerne and the crew that beat them in Amsterdam, the Chinese. Mouth-watering contest we've been waiting for.
There's Catherine Granger for Great Britain, back in the stroke seat, having recovered happily from a back injury, and Annie Vernon returning to her position in the bow, and that's a really good positive start by the British.
Do you know, oh, look at that, there's a problem from the Canadians there. Anna-Marie Zwaga just lost her blade at the catch, and that's set them back at least a length, but I've never seen the British go out as strong as this, David. Absolutely blistering start. It's something that Paul Thompson, their coach, has been trying to do for many years with this British women's quad, and they've never been as purposeful as this. Almost a length at 250 metres.
Yeah, it really illustrates the clarity they all have for the job ahead, and pulling out to close to a length now. China to their right, Germany to their left, and then the Ukraine too from the top of the picture, and closest to you here in lane number 6, this is the American quartet with Ellen Tomac in the stroke seat. But Annie Vernon on the right there, it was a birthday yesterday, and she, like all of the crew, hoping that they've got something to really celebrate in about, what, 1,500 metres?
Yeah, 1,500 metres, you hope. And Fran Houghton there just calling to Catherine Granger, but these British women, as we look at the Germans there, Catherine Boren trying to bring all her experience to bear. Bet she didn't expect to be this far down in the first 500 metres on the British women.
Well, she might just have to call on that experience, which has earned her no less than 4 Olympic gold medals and 7 world titles to close the gap. Catherine Granger, on the other hand, Martin, well, the medal she craves is an Olympic gold, 2 Olympic silvers, but a gold next year in Beijing, that will really seal her career.
It would seal her career, and if she sculls like this, I'm sure that she'll win it, because ahead of the Chinese there, just a great shot of the leg drive from the Chinese quad. Well, they're not in front like they were ahead of the British quad at this stage in the race in Amsterdam, so that expected duel hasn't quite materialised, but I think the British must have handled themselves between that heat win, which they took way back on Monday. They've had a long time to wait before this final, went straight through to it, and they really handled themselves well, really improved, put Kath Granger back in the stroke seat. Annie Vernon, who did a great job there in the heat when they won so convincingly, she's moved back to bow, and at the moment they look absolutely untouchable, David.
Yeah, this is really an amazing start by the British, but what makes me really curious is the Chinese performance, not just in this race, but right across the regatta. It's completely different to what we were seeing earlier in the season, and indeed last season.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. The Germans aren't going to be worried about that. It's a great shot down the German boat there, and we see Stephanie Schiller from Potsdam in the stroke seat just locking on and driving the boat past, and the Chinese, yeah, out of it, and I don't understand why, and their coach Igor Grinko is going to have some words to say when they finish this race.
This isn't a piece of canny tactics, is it?
I can't imagine that you do canny tactics in the World Championships. I just think he's got their pacing of the season wrong. I mean, it's come on early in Amsterdam. They went back to China, done some training. Perhaps they've trained too hard, but these girls, the British women, have got it absolutely right. Fantastic training camp in Breisach. And you can see there, even though the Germans have slightly, I'd say ever so slightly pegging back, the British have got such a great rhythm that I'm sure they're looking good for this medal.
Yeah, the Germans 137.83 for the second quarter, and they're still applying the pressure. Well, they've got to apply the pressure, and Steffi Schiller, Britta Opelt, Manuela Lutz, Katrin Boron, and it's a pretty useful quartet. This is what Jutta Lau has developed here. This is their #1 boat.
It is their #1 boat, and again, Germany hasn't won a gold medal here in the Olympic class events, so really they hope that this one's going to come back with 750 metres to go. They're ever so slightly edging back on the British women, but I know that Kath Granger has a great finish. I know Fran Houghton can pull it out in the last 500 metres. I know Debbie Flood is really tough, and the youngster Annie Vernon, well, she can handle anything, so it's going to take an awful lot to get back on these British women.
Conversely, the Chinese, Feng, Yin, Xi and Tang, working from stroke to bow. I'm afraid they're losing distance with every single stroke here, and the British seemingly determined not only to win this, but win this with authority. Steffi Schiller, the German boat, still moving pretty well and still nibbling away at the advantage of the British. But as you said, Martin, as we come towards the last 500 metres, you know that the British have got some extra in the tank, and if they're required to use it, they will use it.
Yeah, to be quite honest, I'm impressed with the job Jutelau's done with this quad, because I think after the season Germany have had, where they haven't really showed, they haven't figured, they've come here, they put out a good performance, and within a length of this fantastic British women's quad, and they're even going to fight back, maybe go for the overlap, but you can't take it away from the British women in this performance.
Absolutely, and just to be fair again to the German quad, remember this is the comeback season for Katrin Boron. She's been out looking after her family, so one can only think that she is actually going to improve over the next 9 to 12 months.
Yeah, I mean, even at 37, I'm sure she can improve. And yeah, specifically, she's got this 11 months to go to the Beijing Olympics, but still with this race in command, the British still looking good, still commanding, and Germany coming back. I think the field closing back for the bronze medal too, David.
Yeah, and interestingly, the Ukraine getting dangerously close to the Chinese on the far side there. And it is Steffi Schiller who's at the moment maintaining their second silver medal position. You can see the German fans here. They have been absolutely terrific at this regatta, some 20,000 of them, but this is going to be a second gold medal for Great Britain within the space of 30 minutes. They took the lightweight fours, they are going to take the women's quadruple sculls, and this is great news for Great Britain. They won the title in 2005, they took the gold in 2006, and this is going to be their third success in a row. Kath Granger back to her best with her crew. Germany do close, but Great Britain take the gold. China hold on for bronze ahead of the Ukraine, with Canada and the United States still to cross the line. But Kath Granger and her crew, Frances Houghton, Debbie Flood and Annie Vernon, absolutely delighted. Clarity of purpose and a clinical execution, earning the British women's quad arguably their most satisfying success. Germany marginally quicker over the last 1,500 metres, but unable to close the gap.